Hey, what's up, everybody? We are live. It is 9 Eastern, and whatever time you are, wherever you happen to be around the world, you know that it is legit 9 o'clock because there's nothing going on behind me. Nobody in my office. At some point, you're probably going to see those lights turn out. You might even see a cleaning crew come in, and you might hear me tell them, like, "Vamonos, get out!" Like, they're going to try to vacuum and whatever. If you're coming in right now, what I want you to do is go over to your chat, over to whichever side it is. Let me know where you're coming in from. I always like to see where people are coming in from because we get people from all over the world, which is really, really cool. So I will know that you guys are here when I see that start to happen. I know we're on like a 30-second delay. Let me pull this up right here. Here we go. It's happening. What's going on, everybody? Hey, hey. Wow, okay. It's always cool when you see them just flood in like that. You can't fake that. That is really, really cool. So guys, let me know where you're coming in from. We're going to get started almost right away. I'm going to wait like 1 minute. We're going to give everybody a chance to log in here. I have a lot of information to share today. At the same time, I want you guys paying attention. Today, we are really going to do a lot of hands-on, like practical, not fireworks type of stuff, but it's the type of stuff that's going to help you make a lot of money. While we're doing that, here's what I need for you to do, guys. You see right below my name, I always, bam, connectwithjared.com. Let me see if I can actually redirect you guys to there. Give me 1 second. Connectwithjared.com. All right, go over to connectwithjared.com, and here's what I want you to do. We're going to do a little bit of a contest. I want you to go follow me on all the platforms there, Twitter, more importantly, Snapchat. Come on, Snapchat. Instagram, I'm doing a ton on there. Facebook, both the fan page and the personal profile. Who's going to be my 4,000th YouTube subscriber? I'm at 33,999. What I want you to do, though, take a picture, a video, something like that of this going on right here. Post it on one of those social networks. If you put it on Snapchat, put it out to your story and then send it to me. Also, I'm at Jared James Today. Post it on Instagram and tag me. Facebook and tag me, Twitter and tag me, whatever it's going to be. We are going to randomly pick 5 people that do that, and you're going to get 2 things. Number 1, we're going to mail you this shirt, this Jared James Defeat the Voice shirt. We're also going to mail you, depending on whether you're a boy or a girl, these wristbands, these Defeat the Voice wristbands. Okay, so we're going to pick 5 people. Take a picture, tag me in social somewhere, put it out there, send me a message on Snapchat especially. Let me know you're watching this. Let me know that you're excited. That always gets me going. Instagram, Facebook, all those places, guys. The more connected we can be, the better. These videos that I do, these trainings I do, are probably the smallest part of my time as far as from a content creation. I'm giving content all day long, every day. YouTube, there's a ton of hours of video. Snapchat, I do it all day long. Plus, you get a little bit of an insight into the back end of my world, or the other side. So make sure we're doing that. With that being said, guys, I really just want to get started here. We've got a lot of stuff to cover. Give me attention. I'm going to do about an hour's worth of training, and then it's up to you whether you want to stay on or not. I will literally stay here as long as you want me to stay here, answering questions. Okay, and I've done it before, guys. My eyes are already bloodshot right now from doing this all day. I know how this is going to go. I will stay here as late as you guys want me to. That doesn't mean the rest of you have to, but I will, okay? So take a picture if you're just getting here. Tag me on the social profiles. Go to connectwithjared.com, Snapchat especially, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all these other places. Will you be the 4,000th subscriber on YouTube? Make sure we get there. But let's just get started, guys. I'm revved up. I'm ready to go. You have to understand when it comes to lead conversion, first off, this is such an important topic here today because it has the ability, even just with what you already have, to make you such a huge amount more of money. Okay, lead creation is important. We have a marketing department that does lead creation for people, creates seller leads, does these kinds of things. But conversion, it's where it's at. If you don't understand how to convert, leads simply sell your time. They simply make you busy if you don't know how to convert. And so we're going to get very practical today. I'm going to tell you that from a lead conversion standpoint, there is no such thing as a shortcut when it comes to lead conversion, okay? We're going to talk strategies, we're going to talk tips, we're going to talk step-by-steps, but there are no shortcuts, okay? I want you guys to remember this. If the shortcuts were reliable, they wouldn't be the shortcuts. They would just be the way. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason why things are a shortcut. Like when you're driving with somebody and they go, hey, I know a shortcut through there. Let's just go do this, or let's just, whatever it happens to be. It's a shortcut because it's not a main road. Like we might go over there and a bus is going to be stopping and getting kids, or people will be playing in the middle of the road or something. It's a shortcut, okay? So understand that there are no shortcuts when it comes to lead conversion, okay? And for any of you that have followed me for any amount of time, you know that one thing I'm really pushing lately is the idea that our industry has changed. Like, it used to be enough to get in front of people when they were ready to buy and sell. It was a referral world. I should really get a paid sponsorship for this. In today's world, you have to get in front of people when they're ready to learn. And that's a completely different thing. The process that people are going through when they 92 to 96% searching online, whether they're buying or selling, but then that process is going anywhere from 6 to 18 months. And in many cases, what's happening is because we were not trained in that world, we just think that our leads suck, okay? And when you really think about it, we are an industry as a whole that is really good at preparing us to pass the test to become a realtor, but it is not good at teaching us how to actually run a business, how to actually convert people. And in this industry especially, you have a lot of people running around who are type D personalities that are really just really good with people and they're talented. But the problem is that in this industry, everyone's talented, okay? And I need you to understand that. Everyone's talented. You have to become a pro, okay? And doing something like this tonight and paying attention tonight and taking notes and really listening to what I'm telling you tonight is part of that process of becoming a pro, okay? Now, I do want to say something before we get started as well. I want you guys, I have 4 scripts, 4 dialogues that I'm going to cover today, and I'm going to put them up on this screen. But I don't know how blurry they're going to be or how real they're going to be or whatever. We're going to make sure you guys all get copies of those. We're going to record this. But if you want to go download those scripts right now and have them open on your computer or print it out so you can go along with me, all you have to do is go to jaredjamestoday.com/conversion, okay? Rachel just put it up in the chat. I'm going to go over here and see if I can redirect you guys over there. Give me 1 second. jaredjamestoday.com/conversion, redirect. So go to jaredjamestoday.com/conversion. No S on the end, not conversions, conversion with just an N on the end. At the top of the page there, the 4 scripts and dialogues I'm going to cover, the seller, the buyer, the FSBO, the expired are all going to be there. I might cover some additional stuff as well in Q&A because, again, I'll give you as much as I possibly have and I'll answer any question, but it's just going to make your world a lot easier if you're able to go download those right now, okay? So I want to start off with a really quick story as it pertains to lead conversion because, again, it is extremely important. I was talking recently to a friend of mine who was originally one of our one-on-one students, became one of our coaches. He's got one of the top producing teams, brokerages in the country. Next year, they're going to do 1,000 transactions. That gives you just a bit of an idea. And he was telling me this story, how he was paying to create all these leads. And in his particular case, he had agents that were handling the leads for the most part, okay? And when he was doing this, he had some agents that were converting at a certain percentage and these 2 particular agents who were not converting well at all. And they were trying to convince him that it was because their leads sucked. And he's going, wait a second, those people are getting the same leads they're converting, and yet you're getting these and you're telling me the leads suck. And so this was happening for a while, and he eventually made a deal with them and he stopped them and he said, you know what, guys, here's what we're going to do. I want a list of your bad leads, your leads that suck. And we're going to sit down, the 3 of us, for 60 minutes. And I'm going to call your bad leads. And if I'm able to create an appointment, or actually if I'm not able to create an appointment, I'm going to cut each of you a check for $5,000. And I mean, their tails are wagging. They're like, this is fantastic. Like, we're going to get a check for $5,000. And he goes, but if I'm able to create an appointment off of your sucky leads, then what's going to happen is we're going to shake hands and we're going to part ways. And they're like, oh God, what are we going to, but this was the deal. And so he sat down with them with their sucky leads. And over the course of the next 60 minutes, he created 3 appointments. And I think you know how that story went. And so my point is that given the same set of leads, why is it that some people convert at a higher percentage than other people, which equals tens of thousands of dollars to you in this industry? And that is some of what we're going to talk about today, okay? Now, again, guys, for those of you that are wondering, it's jaredjamestoday.com/conversion. Guys, the link is right over in your chat. That's where you can ask questions the whole time. I've got Rachel here with me. We're like in the dark. We're like Blair Witch style right now, but it is what it is. We did our bright, shiny thing earlier today. So just the link is over there in your chat. You can ask questions. If there are questions she can answer during this, she'll answer them. Otherwise, I'll save it for the end, and I'll be answering questions as well. If you lose connection at any point, first off, please don't try to watch this on Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer is good for one thing, and that is downloading another browser, okay? So if you're gonna use your Internet Explorer, only use it to download Chrome or Firefox or something like that. Other than that, please don't use that to try to watch this. You also gotta watch your internet connection. If your internet connection's not great, it's gonna go in and out. You can always try logging out, logging back in. But with that being said, let's get this going, okay? For any of you that have seen me speak live, you know that when I speak live, you know, I'll make you laugh, motivating, the whole thing. I think I'll try to be a little bit funny and motivating today, but that's not really the goal. The goal today is really to cover the non-sexy things that will actually make you money, okay? We always say to all of our, especially our one-on-one coaching students, we tell them, look, you know, the sexy firework type of things are not what's gonna grow your business. It's the boring build the foundation of the home stuff. It's the stuff that's gonna hold that home up for 50 years, 100 years. That's the stuff that's gonna hold your business up. And that's the stuff I wanna talk about today, is strategic. What do you actually say? Why are you saying it? Psychologically, what is that doing? You know, when you start looking at lead conversion, it's such a psychological game. Sales is such a psychological game, but you have to understand how that works. So with that being said, guys, let's jump right into it. If there's any errors or tech errors or anything like that, I apologize, but who really cares? We're just trying to give you good value. So just work with us through that if that is to occur, okay? So let's just get going right now. I'm gonna throw this up over here. I am going to assume that you guys can see this. If not, I'm gonna expect to get a text from Rachel in the very near future telling me you cannot see this, but let's get started. First thing we want to talk about, important rules to understand when you're talking about lead conversion, and we'll cover these in different ways as we start going through our scripts and our dialogues. Number one, speed matters. I don't want to beat this to death because you guys kind of already know this, but you know that when you get in contact with someone within 5 minutes, your conversation ratio goes up by over 100 times. We know that out of these people who search online, 68% of them work with the first person they have a conversation with. So speed matters, okay? So you need to be figuring out how is it that you are going to use that speed. Does that mean that you yourself are gonna put a different ring or a different ding on an email that comes in that's a lead? Does that mean that you're gonna hire an ISA? I'll talk about that in the Q&A section at the end. Does that mean, what does that mean to you? Because speed matters. You gotta get creative. Second thing is, don't underestimate the immediate second call. You're going to see this over and over as we go through our scripts and dialogues as well, which is this little tactic of the immediate second call, which is when you're calling a lead, even if they just filled out a form or just got your number or just got whatever, chances are they're not gonna pick up because they don't recognize your number. And do you pick up when people call you and you don't recognize the number? Heck no. But if that same number immediately after it calls back again, there's something in your head that goes, this must be someone I know, and they're calling back from a number I don't recognize. And then you pick up. It's a little tactic called the immediate second call. When you call a lead and they don't pick up, immediately hang up, just call right back. Watch the percentages of them that now pick up. It's psychology, okay? Third rule, always say the right thing. It's a lot of what we're gonna be covering today is what are the right words to use? What are the questions that get you to the answers that you want? You know, lead conversion is a lot like that movie Inception, where with the things that you say, plant the thoughts in the other person's head that you want them to have. And so we'll talk a lot about that. Words matter. The next thing we'll talk about, you want to touch your leads in as many ways as humanly possible. And I'm going to act like that's not a weird statement, but I think it kind of is, but I think you know what I mean. You know, if you only have an address, you can only contact them that way. But if you're able to call them, email them, text them, social, all these different ways, we'll talk about how that can happen as well. You have a huge advantage on the rest of the field. The fifth one, you want to use BombBomb. In fact, you know what? I'm actually going to take this off right now because I want you guys to see me for this particular part. The fifth one is use video whenever possible. And I know everybody hears that and they get that they should be doing that. I'm a big fan of BombBomb, okay? And if you're watching this right now and you're going, oh my God, is he already gonna start promoting products? Look, guys, I don't make money on Bomb. It's a great product. And yes, using certain products makes your life easier, okay? Having a car to show houses makes it easier to show houses. BombBomb is a tool. It's an app of software that allows you to shoot video and send it to clients right from your phone or email. And this way the videos don't show up sideways. They're not too large to send. It tells you whenever someone opens that video. So if 6 months down the road, somebody opens it, now you know they're interested. But here's why video is so important and why you have to stop ignoring it. Because how do I drive this home? A lot of you get emails from me. And when you get those emails, you don't know if I wrote them. You don't know if Rachel wrote them. You don't know if Anthony wrote them. You don't know if Michelle wrote them. You don't know if Marie wrote them. You don't know if Alicia wrote. You don't know who wrote them, because they're all going to look exactly the same regardless of what the signature says on the end. Because there's no differentiating factor with font. It all looks the same. And it is very easy to turn down or reject a font, which is an email, a message, something like that. But video has a differentiating factor. And you know what that differentiating factor is? It's this. It's your face. It's your voice. And they start to now think, oh, he must have a family. Oh, and they start to now personify you. And it is much more difficult to turn down this, how can I do that? Than it is to turn down words. Than it is to, you see how that works? That's how powerful video is. And for a lot of you that are going, oh, I don't like, how I sound. I don't like how I look. Look, guys, nobody thinks that more than I do. Like, I get videos with tens of thousands of views on them, and I don't want to be one of them. I'm just like, oh God, like, help me, But if you don't like the sound of your voice, or you don't then you might as well walk around every day with a bag over your head and a muffle in your mouth. Because every day you are walking around in the clearest video known to man, and it's called real life, and everyone sees you and everyone hears you, and you need to start leveraging video when it comes to conversion. Does that make sense, guys? I really want to drive that home with you right now, okay? So let's get back to our slides. I know for some of you that watch me a lot, you're going, wow, he's doing slides. I don't usually do a lot of slides. Rachel, you don't need to text me unless there's an issue, okay? So I'm assuming you guys can see this. Rule number 6, be consistent, which includes having a system set up. We're going to talk a little bit about that. I did a training a few weeks ago where we actually talked specifically about systems, but I'm going to show you a little bit about that as well. Rule number 7, always have a strong call to action. I don't know if you understand just how crucial this is, because what most of us think is a call to action in our emails and our marketing flyers and our whatever is call me. That is not a call to action. Your call to action is supposed to have scarcity. It's supposed to have a deadline. It's supposed to make them reach out. It's supposed to dangle a carrot. And we will talk a little bit about that today, and you'll see exactly what I mean, okay? Now, here is what we're going to cover today. We're going to cover specifically buyer leads. We're going to cover seller leads. We're going to cover FSBOs, how to convert them. And then we're going to cover expireds, okay? And a lot of you are like, oh my God, I don't deal with them. Just hear me out today. I'm going to show you how you can do this in a very easy way. Now, before we go into these scripts, and I'm actually going to show them to you, again, if anybody right now is watching this and didn't hear me in the beginning, you can download the scripts right now at jaredjamestoday.com/conversion. Rachel, if you can post that again in the chat. I'm going to have them on the screen here. If they're blurry, I apologize, but you can download them right now and follow along with me. I'm going to make sure at the end everybody gets a copy. Regardless, though, what I don't want you doing is I do not want you trying to write down what I'm saying. I just want you to pay attention to me, listen to the psychology of it, and just kind of learn. That's what I want. Soak it in, okay? And then we'll all go watch Michael Phelps, okay? And if he's on while this is happening, someone let me know if he wins or not, okay? So when we start talking dialogues and scripts, I think it's also important for you to understand that I understand that a lot of you are anti-script, and you say you have the narrative, I'm not a scripted person. Well, neither am I, Jack, okay? I am not a scripted person either. But everything you do in this world comes from the fact that you've been taught that when you do this, this happens. Again, it's like Inception. When you understand the power that words have, you know where you want people to go, you know the right questions to ask, you know the right words to use in order to get them to the place that you're trying to get them to. And you know what's crazy about this? McDonald's workers understand this. When you walk into McDonald's, it's such a crazy example, but this is how I think, guys. When you walk into McDonald's, some worker across the way there is going, welcome McDonald's, may I take your order? Why are they doing that? They're getting right to it. They're trying to eliminate time. They're saying, may I take your order? Because no matter what you're thinking at that moment, the moment you hear, may I take your order, something triggers in your mind and you go, time to give the order. It's Inception. and you just go, oh, I'll have a number 2, and I'll have a whatever else is unhealthy, and I'll just, whatever. They even know how to do this. You as a real estate professional with tens of thousands of dollars on the line have got to understand how this works, okay? So let's start right off the bat. I think we're gonna go into some buyer scripts here. I'm gonna go line by line. You can pull that one up if you would like to. Let me pull it up here. I wanna start seller or buyer. Let's go buyer. Just do it, whatever. We'll just start with buyers. Okay, buyers. So here is our buyer script. Now, keep in mind, people don't always respond the way you want them to, but it's about knowing the spirit of where you're trying to go. I put on all these scripts I'm going to give to you guys. I make little notes so that you understand them. And I was very clear here that, look, you've got to respond within 5 minutes, if at all possible, whatever you have to do to make that happen, okay? But let's say you call a buyer. And we'll get into partial leads in a moment, okay, at the end. Right now, let's just talk about you have a number, you have some kind of contact info, you have something, okay? So let's just say that you call a potential buyer, they don't pick up. What's the first thing we're gonna do? We talked about this before. We're gonna do the immediate second call. You never just leave a voicemail that first time. You immediately hang up the phone and you call back immediately. Why? Because now when they see that number, they're gonna be going, oh, okay, this supposed to be somebody I know. They're just calling from a number I don't recognize. And then that's going to happen. They're going to now pick up the phone in more cases than not. And I know this is true because I've already heard from so many of our students that this is happening. One of them told me yesterday, she goes, that immediate second call thing is freaking brilliant. Okay. So very cool. So immediate second call. If they don't pick up the phone, here's what you're going to say. Roundabout what you're going to say. You got to learn this stuff. You got to internalize it. You've got to practice it. Hi, so-and-so. This is so-and-so. Your name. I just got your request to get more information on the address of the house, and I want to get that over to you ASAP. It's funny that you were looking at this property, though, because there's actually something really cool about it that you're going to love. You can reach me at blank for the next 30 minutes or so. I look forward to hearing back from you. So what did I do right there? I did call to action. I talked about there being something really cool about it. You have to know. By the way, guys, on every property, there's something unique and cool. You just got to find out what it is on each individual property. The second thing I did was that I created scarcity with a deadline. And I made them value my time. And I said, hey, I've got something really cool to tell you. I'm going to be at this number for the next 30 minutes. Call me right back. Now that creates a deadline. In their head, now they're not going, I'll call back when I get a chance. They're going, shoot, countdown is on. I've got to call back. While I'm still hot on this, I've got to call back. The other thing that does is that if they don't call back in that 30 minutes, I've given myself an excuse to call them multiple times in one day and not be annoying. Because if they don't call back in that 30 minutes, I'm going to call them back in the afternoon or 3 or 4 hours later, and I'm going to say, hey, it's almost like the cable guy, and I'm going to be like, hey, I called you earlier. I told you I'd be around for 30 minutes. I've got some missed calls on my phone from numbers I don't recognize. I didn't know if one of them was you, but now I'm at this number for the next 20 minutes. And you just keep playing this game and creating scarcity and creating deadlines, which ups the odds that they are going to call you back. Now, what if they do pick up? They pick up, you're going to say, hi, is this so-and-so? You're starting with that open line in order to throw them off a little bit. Because they're used to saying, hi, this is so-and-so, and instead you're saying, hi, is this so-and-so? It's called pattern disrupt, okay? When you mess up somebody's pattern, it changes the way they think. But we're going to take that one step further, because they're going to say, yes, who is this? You're going to go, hi, so-and-so, this is so-and-so, this is Jared. I'm getting back to you about your questions in reference to the address. Real quick, though, are you near your computer or phone or wherever you keep your calendar? Pattern disrupt. That's all you're doing right there. People do what they're told. It's this psychological function that we have, that we just do what we're told. It's human nature, even if we don't want to do it. We don't know why we're doing it, but for some reason we're reaching over and we're doing it. And we're like, okay, I'm getting back to you. Real quick though, are you near your computer or phone or wherever you keep your calendar? They're going to be saying, yeah, I keep my calendar right here on my phone. Why do I need to be near my calendar? This is the natural next question they're going to be having. You're going to answer them and say buyer's name. As I'm sure you're aware, there are not a ton of properties like this that are available and stay available for long in this market. I wanted to tell you a little more about the property and hopefully set up a time for you to see it if it sounds like a good fit. But first, I have to know, do you have anyone else sending you good deals right now? There's more pattern disrupt happening right now. And I'm also asking a question that is crucial. Notice the question I did not ask. I did not ask them if they're working with an agent. Okay. Why did I not ask them if they're working with an agent? Because everybody has learned how to answer that question because they know why you're asking. And so they're like, well, this person will leave me alone if I just say, yes, I'm working with an agent. And we all know a lot of people that are getting properties from agents, but not working with those agents, okay? And again, guys, I see your questions. We'll be going over people who don't have phone numbers in the Q&A section. So this particular one, when you ask them, do you have anybody sending you good deals? In their head, they go, shoot, good deals. You must have properties that this person doesn't know of. And now their whole psychology changes. And they're like, why? Do you have good deals? Do you have better deals than the one that I'm seeing? Do you have, this is what's going through their head right now. And here's some possible answers they're going to give you when you say, do you have anybody sending you good deals? They're going to say, well, my wife has a friend in the business, but we haven't signed anything with anyone. Why? Do you have access to properties that they don't? Here's your answer. And I'll explain how you're able to say this in a second. Your answer is, the truth is that the MLS, where we pull our properties from, is the same to everyone. What we do have, though, is a proprietary list of potential sellers that nobody else has access to. And in some cases, we're able to match our buyer clients up with the houses for sale that never even see the open market. Is that something that would interest you? Now, if you're going to use that line right there, that you have a proprietary list of sellers that other people don't have access to, here's what has to be happening for you to use that, because that is an extreme carrot you're going to dangle right now that converts at a high level. You need to be creating seller leads right now, whether that's doing that through our marketing department that creates seller leads, whether it's doing it through someone else, whether it's doing it yourself. You need to be creating seller leads, because those seller leads that are potential sellers that filled out a do you want to, you're thinking of selling ad, are a proprietary list that only you have access to. And when you have access to that, it's amazing how you can work both sides now, because not only are you using those proprietary lists of potential sellers to draw this buyer in to work with you, but when this buyer comes in to work with you and you know exactly what they're looking for, you now have an excuse to call those potential sellers whose property matches what that buyer's looking for and say, hey, I've got a buyer who's looking for something like yours. Is it possible for us to come look at your house? And this is how you start working both sides. Now, when you ask that question, would this be of interest? They're going to say absolutely. Who wouldn't? What buyer would not say that? Okay. The other possible answer that might come out, they might say, yes, we've been working with someone for a while now, but haven't found anything that we like as of yet. You're going to say, perfect. We work with people all the time that haven't had a ton of success with other agents. By the way, you just planted the seed there that they haven't had a ton of success. Okay. Actually, what really separates us is that we have a proprietary list of potential sellers that nobody else has access to. And in some cases, we're able to match our buyer clients up with houses for sale that never even see the open market. Is this something that would interest you? By the way, guys, that proprietary list can be the seller lead you're creating through us. That can be a list of foreclosures or list pendants that people don't have normal access to. That can be a lot of different things. You just have to make sure that you actually have that, okay? When you say that to them, and say, would that interest you? They're going to, like I said, there's no one that's not going to say no. They're going to go, absolutely, that'd be of interest. If they're serious buyers, they want to know what that is. You're going to say, great. Here's all I ask then. I know that you've been looking for a house with your current agent for a while now, unsuccessfully, again, planting the seed. The nice thing about me or our team or whatever your structure is, the nice thing about me is that I don't mind competition if it means finding you the house you've been dreaming about. Can you make me one promise, though? If the other agent finds you a home, you'll use them. But if I send you a property, will you promise me that you use me to view and potentially buy that house? So you're making a deal with them, okay? And they're going to say, sure, sounds fair to me. Where do we find a, we just want to find a great deal, okay? Now, here, depending on whether they went one way or the other according to the script, is when you get back on script. You're going to say, perfect, let's talk about the property you inquired about then. This property actually has, name something special about it. You need to know something about it. The bird bath in the back, something in the basement, something special. I'd love to get you out there to see it and also go over what you're looking for, so I can see if any of our potential properties from our proprietary list match your criteria. Dangling the carrot. What's a good time for you today or tomorrow? Now, in an ideal world, this is where a lot of them would just say, how's 4 o'clock today? But a lot of you watching this right now, and this is what kind of separates me from a lot of the trainers out there, is I've actually sold a ton of real estate. This is not usually what happens. They do not generally just go, yeah, let's do it. Let's go. Generally, they're going to put up a fight, and they're going to say something like, I don't know if I'm actually ready to see the house yet. I really just wanted more information on it. They're going to say something like that, okay? When that happens, this is when you need to start putting into practice the strategies we teach, which are called ARP and Arc. ARP is ARP, acknowledge, respond, pivot. Okay, if you can write those in the chat, Rachel. ARP is acknowledge, respond, pivot. ARC is acknowledge, respond, close. The first thing you're going to do is you're always going to ARP, acknowledge, respond, pivot. Pivoting is one of the most powerful tools you have in converting leads, okay? And so what you're going to do is you're going to acknowledge, perfect. I know at this point you're really just gathering information. You're going to respond, and that's exactly what I want to give you. And then you're going to pivot. Pivots are so powerful. And you're going to say, so can you tell me about the perfect house for you? How many bedrooms does it have, and where is it located? This is what's known as a pivot. You're going to continue to pivot until you feel like the rapport is built, because when you pivot and you ask questions and they start answering, here's what happens. Number one, they start feeling more comfortable with you because they're talking to you, okay? But the second thing that happens is you start to wear them down. I'd love to know how many of you have kids, and with those kids, how many of them could teach you about sales, because kids are masters at this. Kids will sit there and go, can we go get ice cream after dinner? And you're like, no, I'm tired. I don't want to. And they're going to go, I know you're tired, but Johnny went and got ice cream yesterday. I don't want to go get ice cream. I know you don't want to go get ice cream, but we were supposed to go a couple days ago and you didn't take us. I'm just really tired. I don't want to go tonight. I know you don't want to go tonight, but summer only lasts so long here. Like, can we go get it? And they just keep going and going and going. And before you know it, where are you? You're at the ice cream shop. Okay. It is absolutely no different when you're dealing with people, because it's human nature. Pivot, 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 okay? Until you finally get to the point the rapport is built and you can close, okay? And what you're gonna say is, perfect, so you just want more information on your house you asked about, and you have interest in the proprietary list of sellers that we have. From doing this all the time, I can tell you from personal experience that our happiest clients, when buying the biggest investments of their lives, you're planting that seed, have been so happy because they took the small amount of time it takes to meet with me and really detail what they're looking for and why they're looking for it. I would never want to waste yours or my own time, and that includes, this is a crucial point, the psychological factors that are happening on this next line are crazy. I would never want to waste yours or my own time, and that includes wasting your time with properties that don't match what you're really looking for. What you just did was a redirect, because they're going, I don't want to waste time, and you're going, I don't want to waste time. And what you just did right there is you hit one of the things that is so annoying to buyers, which is that when they have properties sent to them over and over and over again that don't match what they're looking for. And so you said, you're right, I don't want to waste time, I don't want to waste your time. I also don't want to waste your time sending you properties that don't match what you're really looking for. So why don't we just take a small amount of time to get together? Because you know that when you get together, rapport is built, and now they're going to work with you. What was the thing he wrote? I didn't write those down, those 6 items Jared started with. Would you share those again? I think he's talking about the 7 things, right? Okay. I can go back at the end, Alex. Ask me at the end and I'll show it to you again, okay? So I don't want to waste your time. That includes I don't want to send you properties that don't match what you're looking for. With that being said, and this is a crucial point, would you be offended if I put you on the calendar tomorrow at 5 p.m. so we can either, and then look at that property, meet in my office. You got to feel it out and decide where you're going with that one right there. But that question right there, would you be offended, is a crucial question. Why? Because you're in sales. And when people are talking to a salesperson in general, do they want to say yes or do they want to say no? They want to say no, okay? And so you're giving them the option of saying no when really it's going to be a yes for you. Would you be offended if I put you down for 5 o'clock tomorrow? And they're going, no, I wouldn't be offended. Their no to you, though, means a what? It means a yes, okay? Those are the types of terms that you are going to want to use over and over and over again. Would you be offended? You're going to see it with the sellers. Would you be offended if I stopped by for a quick 5-minute on-site price? Would you? Different questions. The quality of your answers will always be determined by the quality of the questions that you ask, okay? So let's go into seller leads. And guys, I know this is a lot of info. We're going to give you these scripts. If everything works, this is going to be recorded, okay? But you have to learn this stuff, okay? So let's grab the next script here. And guys, I will go into full all-out Q&A at the end. And like I said, I will stay here for as long as you want me to, no matter how bloodshot my eyes get, okay? Seller leads, very similar script, guys. You're just kind of changing the content a little bit, okay? Because again, the psychology is the same, Okay, so a seller lead, again, want to call within 5 minutes if at all possible, figure out a way to make that work within your business. If the potential seller doesn't pick up, what are you going to do? The immediate second call, okay, because that's what works. So you already said that. I'm not going to cover that again. Once you get them, if you don't get them on the phone, you leave a voicemail. You're going to say, hi, so-and-so, this is so-and-so. I just got your request to get the value of your home, and I want to get that over to you ASAP. I just need one more thing to make that happen. Dangling the carrot. You can reach me at blank for the next 30 minutes or so. I look forward to hearing from you. What are you doing there? Creating a deadline, creating scarcity. You've got to do that. You guys are going to notice the things that convert happen over and over and over and over again, okay? It's just replaying what the factors are that work over and over, because when you're dealing with these prospects, they don't know that you're doing it to everyone else. They don't know that you're going to the same place every single time. Just like when you walk in again to McDonald's, hello, welcome to McDonald's, may I take your order? They've said that 7,000 times that day, but it's the first time to you. That's all that matters, okay? If the potential seller does pick up, hi, this is so-and-so. Yes, who is this? And you can say, hi, this is blank, your name. I'm getting back to you about the form you just filled out, requesting to get the value of your home. I can certainly take care of that for you. Real quick, though, are you near your computer or phone or wherever you keep your calendar? Pattern disrupt. They're going to say, yes, I keep my calendar right here on my phone. Why do I need to be near my calendar? I'm not going to cover this all again. We already covered those psychological factors on the first one. They're exactly the same. When you get this script, I've actually written notes on it so you know exactly what they are, why you're doing it, okay? And now you are going to say seller's name, as I'm sure you're aware. Let me scroll this down for you guys so you guys can see it. Seller's name, as I'm sure you're aware, there are a ton of online automatic valuation tools that estimate your home's value electronically, but are almost always wrong, because how can you really estimate a home's value without seeing it, looking at the updates that have been done and what kind of wear and tear it's been through? You know what I mean? What you're doing right there is you're making agreement. No matter what you said right there, they would have agreed with you. This is what happens when you first meet someone. You ever met someone, you kind of have decent rapport, and when you're talking to them, they make some like crazy statements, just like political statements and other things that you're just like, this person's an idiot. But you just kind of go, yeah, you just kind of agree with them because you're not at the point in your relationship where you're going to disagree. That's exactly what's going on right now. Whatever you say, they're going to agree with, but agreement creates bond. So you're getting them to agree that you can't really get a value online. That thing's not going to be accurate. Next up, they're going to say, sure, and you're going to go, perfect. So I want to get you the value of your home without putting you out or bothering you too much. And it turns out I will actually be in your neighborhood tomorrow around 6 p.m. This is what's called getting ahead of their objection. Because in their head, when you start talking about getting to their house and doing a quick 5-minute on-site price consultation and all these things we're going to talk about, in their head, I don't want to put you out. That's just too much work. That's just, you're getting ahead of that. I want to get you the value of your home without putting you out too much or bothering you too much, but I'll actually be in your neighborhood tomorrow around 6 p.m. Here's this question. Would you be offended if I stopped by for a quick 5-minute on-site price consultation where while I'm there so I can give you exactly what you're looking for, an accurate value of your home? Notice I did not say comparative market analysis, which sounds lengthy and expensive. They don't know what it means, but they understand I'll be in the neighborhood. I'll just do a quick 5-minute on-site price consultation. By the way, guys, why am I going to be in their neighborhood tomorrow at 6 p.m.? Because they say yes. That's why. Okay. If they say a different time, that's when I'm going to just happen to be in their neighborhood. Okay. Now, in an ideal world, what would they say now? Come on by. But in a real world, they're probably going to say something else like, I don't think I want to have someone come by just yet. I really just want to get the value of my home. Okay. You're going to say, and this is where you go into your ARP and your ARC, acknowledge, respond, pivot, acknowledge, respond, close. Pivots are your friend. So you're going to say, perfect. You can acknowledge, I know you just want to get the value of your home. Respond, that's exactly what I want to give you. Pivot. So can you tell me about any updates you might have done since you bought the house 10 years ago? That's a pivot. You could have anything in that pivot, whatever it is that's going to get you to a place where they start talking about their property. And you're going to pivot, 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 pivot with as many questions as you can, getting them talking, keeping them on the phone, feeling comfortable with you, humanizing you until you feel like the rapport is enough that you can now close. And that's when you're going to eventually go into this last part. Let's pull this up here. We're going to say perfect. So you just want an accurate value of your home, and I've got some of the information. I've got some of the information that I need to be able to give you that, but nothing compares to seeing a property. As I mentioned at the beginning of our call, I'm actually going to be in your neighborhood tomorrow around 6 p.m. And could stop by really quickly so you can get what you want. Would you be offended if I came by for a really quick 5-minute on-site price consultation since I'm there anyway? Guys, that is what's known as a pivot, 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 close, okay? And again, part of what you're doing right here is you're wearing them down. They're like, wow, this person is they're just going for it. We have a thing in sales that we tell people that if you want to convert at a high level and make more money in your business, then when you're dealing with a client like this, and if you don't want to waste 98 or 99% of your leads, you need to be going for one of two fingers when you're talking to people, okay? There's this finger, let's go, come on over. And then there's another finger, which I'm not going to do, and I'm not going to put that on YouTube, but I think you know what I mean. Don't worry about bothering people, okay? If you have a belief in yourself that you are the best option and that they are better off working with you and you're doing a disservice by not having them work with you, then like that child who wants ice cream, you have got to keep going and going and going until you wear them down and you can finally close, okay? Let's talk about let's go FSBO. FSBOs, honestly, guys, are the easiest ones to convert. We're just doing it wrong right now. And when I say wrong, I mean really wrong. Like, it's ridiculous how we are training people on FSBOs. The objective of a for sale by owner, and by the way, guys, 83% of all for sale by owners end up selling with a realtor, okay? Why do they originally not list with a realtor? They don't list with a realtor because they need to make a certain amount of money. That's their only objection. What they don't know is that the national average is that the average person who sells for sale by owner gets 20% less than what somebody gets when they put it on the MLS. What they also don't understand is that buyers are more educated than ever. And even if they find a buyer and a buyer knows what their neighbor's property sold for, that buyer is immediately taking 6% off of their offer because they know that they're not paying a realtor. It is not in their best interest. But that alone is not going to close a FSBO, because when you're going after a FSBO, the objective, and by the way, FSBO, FSBO, for sale by owner, if anybody's new here, we call them fastest and shortest business opportunities, okay? Because they really are. They're the easiest ones to close. When you're going after a FSBO, though, you are not trying to list their house when you call them. You are trying to get an appointment. That's it, to see the house. Because when you get in the house, I'm going to walk you through it right now. That's when you're able to start building rapport. And when 83% of them decide to use a realtor, you want to be that realtor, okay? So here's what's going to happen. You're going to either go on forsalebyowner.com, FSBO.com, whatever, Craigslist, whatever, get their name, their number. You're going to call them, and here's how this conversation is going to go, okay? You're going to say, hi, is this the owner of the home for sale? Okay, again, that's a pattern disrupt. You're not saying who you are. You're just going right into it. Is this the owner of a home for sale? They're going to go, yes. And you go, excellent. This is blank from blank. Who am I speaking with? They can say, this is Tony. How can I help you? They're wondering if you're a buyer. They're wondering if you're an agent. They don't really know. And they're going to say, how can I help you? And you say, hi, Tony, I saw your house for sale on blank, FSBO.com, whatever. How much are you asking for the house? Or I was driving by, saw the sign, but you're going to ask how much you asking for the house. Chances are the seller, if this is a real situation, is going to say, if you found it on that site, the price is on that same site that you found it on. Now, we are purposefully asking how much are you asking for it, even though we found it online, because we want them to say that. We want them to say the price was on the same site that you came in with, because they have an attitude, because it sets us up to go to the next place we want to go, which is if they say that, you can make a joke about how inaccurate prices online can be, so you just wanted to confirm. You might even say something like, haven't you ever gotten a Zestimate? You can't believe everything you find online, and give a little chuckle. Now you've placed doubt in their heads because they're going, that's where I figured out my value. What do you mean you can't put? And so you found a way in on that without actually going right to it. Again, inception, you planted the seed. You led them to where you wanted them to go. Now they're starting to think a little bit more, and they're going to say something like, well, it's listed for $7.99, or why? Do you have a buyer? You're going to say, I might, but I'm not sure because I haven't seen your property in person yet. Guys, this is a crucial point right here, because this is the point when they ask, do you have a buyer, where almost every agent in the world is taught to say yes. And right off the bat, you are going to lose all rapport with them because they know that you're lying. How do you know if you have a buyer for a property you've never seen? It's not possible to know that. You say, I might, but I haven't seen the property yet. And then you're going to start going into a question, and they may or may not answer. You're going to say, hey, once you sell the house, are you going to stay in town or are you moving out of state? Now, they're either going to start answering this, or there's going to be like, I don't know why that's relevant, okay? If they go with it, that's why it's not relevant, you're going to skip ahead to a different part of the script I'll show you in a second, and you're going to move forward with trying to get an appointment, okay? But let's just assume they say, I'm downsizing, moving to Florida, or we'll be staying local, or it's none of your business, whatever it happens to be. You're going to say, excellent. I really pride myself on knowing all the inventory in the development, town, city, section, whatever it happens to be. Would you be offended if I was to take a brief tour of your house? Remember, you already planted the seed that you have to see their house in order to know if you have a buyer for it, okay? So would you be offended if I did that? They're probably going to say something like this, I'm not listing my house. You're going to say, look, I totally understand that. And that's not what I'm asking you to do. I just want to take a quick walk through the house. Who knows? I may be able to even give you some insider tips to make it more saleable. It turns out I'm actually going to be in your area tomorrow around 6 p.m. Does that work for you? There's almost no for sale by owner in the world that knows that you might have potential buyers who's going to turn you down to just get in to see the property, okay? There's many different ways you can word this. You can tell them, look, I don't know if I have buyers, but as an expert in the area, I pride myself on knowing my inventory, which means that I've got to know all the properties available for my buyers, including yours. I'm going to be in your area tomorrow around 6 o'clock. Would you be offended if I stop by real quick? That's the tone you want to go with, okay? The seller in almost every case is going to say, sure, that'll be fine, or they're going to set a different time, okay? And this next line is crucial as well, because what you're going to do is you're going to say, perfect. Also, what's a good email I can use for you? I've got something I'm going to send you that will help me when previewing your house, okay? The thing you're going to send them is going to be to ask them what are the top 3 selling points, top 3 biggest challenges that you'd want to bring to a buyer, that kind of a thing. Really, all you're doing is you're finding a sneaky way to get their email. I'm going to send you something that's going to make our time more valuable. They're going to give you their email. You now have long-term nurture. Okay, you can send it to blank. Sounds good. I'll see you at blank tomorrow. Now, that is not where it ends. The most important part of this whole thing is not on the script. You've set the appointment. Now you go in. You're going to say, Jared, this is where you close them like a shark. Nope. You're going to go in, you're going to look at the property, you're going to give them value, you're going to give them tips, you're going to get them to like you. Your only job is to get them to like you. If you have a potential buyer, you are going to look at it for them. But here's the crucial part of the whole thing. Here's the glue that's going to hold the whole thing together. When you're leaving that property and you've built your rapport, if there's been no opening for you to potentially list it, don't try, okay? But when you're leaving that property, you're going to say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I really hope you do. I'm gonna bring this up to my buyers. I really do hope you end up getting the price you want, whatever. I will tell you, because I do this all the time, that you should be aware when a house comes on the market that's a competitor of yours, because other buyers are going to be looking at it. I have access to all those properties. Would you mind if occasionally when a house comes on that I think competes with yours, would you mind if I were to bring it to your attention and just educate you on that? There's no seller in their right mind that's going to say no to that. What you have just done is you've gotten permission from them to contact them on a regular basis with potential properties that are competitors of theirs. And all you're going to do is every single week, you are going to look for a property that's similar to theirs, somewhere near theirs, and now you're going to call them, okay? And you're going to tell them about it. Why? Because it's going to keep the open line of communication. It's going to keep building the rapport. And when they become one of those people who's the 83% that sells through a realtor, who do you think that they're going to use when somebody's been giving them value, not pushing them, and just staying in touch with them, okay? What do you send the FSBO if given their email? If given their email, what we train people to send them is to ask them, so that you know what to focus on, what do they believe are the top 3 selling points of their home, and what do they think are the top 3 buyer challenges, okay? I wouldn't send a market snapshot just yet. I don't think we're ready for that just yet. Right now, you just want to ask the question, because what it's going to do is it's also going to frame your relationship, and you're going to see what kind of a seller you're potentially dealing with, because they're either going to be very honest with you, or they're going to be like, there's no challenges here. This place is amazing. This is, whatever. So it starts to frame that for you, okay? And that's why we teach that. What I recommend is go back and watch. We have a training, How to Win the Listing Every Time on YouTube. It's so detailed, it's crazy. In fact, if you go to jaredjamestoday.com/listings training, Rachel, post that in the chat. There's actually a 6-page detailed manual that goes over, what to say. There's a video to watch. You should really check that out, okay? So that's FSBOs. Let's go over expireds. What is your response to the FSBO ask? What are you going to send me in an email? You're going to tell them that you're going to send them just a couple of questions that are standard that you always ask whenever previewing a property, so that it's the best use of your time. So you go in there knowing what you're walking into. That's it. Okay. You don't make it a big deal. They don't make it a big deal. Okay. It's pretty standard, and it's something that you need in front of you. Okay. So yeah, just email it. Give me your email, and I'm going to send the questions over to you. Just try to have it back to me before I get to your house. Most people, as long as you make it cool, they're like, okay, no problem. Remember, you've built the rapport up until now. You're not calling them and saying them immediately. Okay. Next one here, let's talk about expireds. I'm going to give you guys some tips from expireds. Guys, there are many different ways, by the way. You have to understand. So I run a coaching company. We have a marketing side, but we coach people on, like on our virtual coaching, for example. We have a dashboard with so many different trainings of potential ways that you can get people to convert, different ways you can differentiate yourself with expired listings, with these types of things. This is going to be just one of those ways. Okay, I'm going to give you one that is highly effective. It's called the Payday Candy Bar campaign. Pay attention to this because it's genius. Like, it's literally genius, and it works almost every single time. We have students making bank doing exactly what I'm about to show you. Okay, so let me pull this up. This is something I actually I created myself last year, just getting creative. It was working so well that Realtor Magazine called me and said, can we write an article about this? And they did. And it's extremely effective. So when you have an expired listing that comes up in an area, you know that a ton of people are calling that expired listing, okay? And it's very difficult to separate yourself. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this script. You're either going to take this writing and put it on a letter. First, what you're going to do is you're going to go on Amazon and order a bunch of snack size Payday candy bars, or Costco or something like that. And you're either going to attach this with a letter with your business card to the Payday candy bar, or you are going to put it in an envelope, mail. There's many different ways you can do it. You can decide how you want to do that. You can call them and do this, but here's what that letter is going to say. You can handwrite it. You just make sure they get there the day of the expiration. And here's what it's going to say. It's going to say, hi, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. My name is blank, and I work with blank Realty. They've heard that 13 times that day. I saw that the listing on your house expired today. And by the way, you've already got their attention because it has a Payday candy bar attached. You can say, I saw that the listing in your house expired today, and I'm hoping that the next time I get the chance to contribute to a payday in your life, it's because I get the opportunity to sell your house. As you've already found out, since your property was for sale for the past 6 months and expired, it is more than difficult to separate yourself from the overwhelming amount of competition in today's market. And I face that same challenge every day with other realtors when good houses like yours show up in my expired properties list. But I'm hoping that this small example shows you that I know how to separate from the competition, and I can do the same for you if you still want to sell. I've attached my business card, and I'll be following up tomorrow. Please feel free to reach out in the meantime if you're serious about selling. I look forward to hearing from you and getting the opportunity to present my marketing plan for your home to get the job done this time. Okay? Now, that right there, if you send it to your expires or you drop it off at their houses, you've got their attention. There is no way that if they're going to relist, which in almost every single situation is the second agent that sells their property, there's no way you're not getting in the door, because that was creative. Now, again, many of you need to go watch that video on how to win the listing. Or you can just go to YouTube, how to win the listing, Jared James. You need to go watch that and master that, because if you get in the door and you follow what I teach you in that listing presentation and you follow that campaign right there, you will list so many more expireds in your neighborhood, finally at a price in your neighborhood, in your area, at a price that will actually sell and make tens of thousands of dollars if you just follow it. And this is the most difficult part for so many people, be consistent. That is the key part of the whole thing, all right? Let me go back to my slides here. We're gonna go cover a couple more things, then I'm gonna show you one more thing, and then we're gonna do Q&A, okay? So let me grab this right here. I know it's a lot of info, guys. Again, we're gonna give you all this. If this recording works, we'll give you that as well. And then I'm gonna do Q&A for as long as you guys want me to. So what if you don't get a hold of a prospect right away? Here are some options for you if you don't get a hold of a prospect right away. One of the main things that a lot of you need to be doing, I don't care if you're an individual, I don't care if you have a team, if you have an office, you need to be throwing follow-up parties once a week, okay? You go, well, I don't want to get together at night. You are in the real estate business, okay? You are not in the 9 to 5 world. If once a week You need to set a party. I don't care if you have pizza there. I don't care if you have beer there. Once a week, you yourself, you and a friend, you and your office, you and your team, do nothing once a week but have follow-up parties. Call all of your leads again. Call all of your prospects again. Call your sphere again. Call you every single week. You have to make calls. By not doing this, do you have any idea how much money you're costing yourself? How much you're losing in conversion? That's what's happening. Once a week. We work with some of the top teams, some of the top individuals in North America. I told you one of ours is going to do 1,000 transactions next year. They still do this. They are still making their calls every single week. Now, those are calls, those are their emails, those are their text messages, those are their going on Facebook and sending personal messages. It's just a follow-up party. The next thing that has to happen, you've got to set up short-term and long-term nurturing follow-up campaigns, okay? And I think I'm gonna actually show you guys this. We just did a thing with our virtual coaching where I actually broke down and I showed like how to create the system step by step. But I wanna show you right now an example of what I'm talking about. Now this particular thing right here is, let me just grab it here. This is in Wise Agent. I don't use Wise Agent, just so you know. I'm not an agent. So when you see 744 past due calls, don't think that I'm a hypocrite. That's just because we use this as a demo, okay? But here's an example of what I'm talking about. And whether it's Wise Agent, if you use wiseagent.com/Jared James, you can get our follow-up campaigns and stuff for free. But whatever you're using Top Producer, I don't care what you're using. People always go, what's the best CRM? I'm like, the one you're using, okay? But you need to have some kind of follow-up that looks something like this, okay? And they're not difficult to connect. You do it once and you're done. And what's gonna happen is, I told you, when you get a new lead in, here's a seller lead follow-up, for example. In the first 7 days, you should be touching them 7 to 10 times. You're going for one of 2 fingers, okay? And so here's what's gonna happen. An immediate email is gonna go out off of the lead source it came from. Then 0 days, so that day the lead's created, in your CRM, a follow-up call, you're gonna get a reminder. You have to call. It's gonna be on your call list. It's gonna tell you exactly what to say. It's gonna tell you to do the immediate second call. It's gonna tell you exactly what to do. The next day, an email is gonna go out automatically without you doing anything. It's just more follow-up, but it's written in a way that it looks like you sat down and sent it. That same day, a pop-up's gonna say, shoot them a video. Here's what you need to say. Here's what, it's gonna remind you what has to happen. Then an email, then a phone call. All of this stuff happens automatically. Whether you want to do it or not, you have to have the system in place, because you guys know how this goes. You are type A personalities. You are, take care of people, put out fires, go, go, go. Whether it's productive or not, you're going to stay busy. And so systems are something in the real estate business that keep us on task and allow us to grow. And they also, in today's world where people are waiting 3 to 18 months to potentially buy or sell, even though they started their process earlier, it's allowing us to close with people 8 months down the road that right now we're not even following up with, because we call them a few times, they don't respond, we go, these leads suck, and we're constantly running up the hill, okay? You need systems. Now, I'm gonna cover one really quick thing with you guys, then I'm gonna get into a little bit more of partial leads. I'm gonna do Q&A with you guys. Like I said, you guys, as long as you want me to, I will be here. This is, for many of you watching right now, and you see this stuff, I want you to understand that we do this on a regular basis. I told you, we're a coaching company. So we do one-on-one coaching, which is a higher level specific to you. You have somebody assigned to you. I do all the consults for those, and then we assign the appropriate coach. We have a director of coaching that runs the whole thing. And then for a lot of people, because a lot of people can't afford one-on-one, we do virtual coaching. And virtual coaching is only $59 a month or $599 for the year. So essentially you get 2 months for free. And essentially what's happening with this is what I'm doing with you guys right now, where, and I'll put this up if you guys are interested, just click on it. It's over in your offers thing. You can go check it out. What virtual coaching does is every single week, like I just did on August 8th, yesterday, I personally do a live broadcast for all of our virtual coaching students. and it's 15 to 20 minutes long. I cover a specific thing that's going to help you. You can ask me questions during that time or all week long, but it helps to make you a lot more money. And what I did yesterday was I covered specifically systems, and I showed people step by step how to set them up, just how easy it is and how it's crazy that you're not doing it. And the amount of money people make off of being in this is crazy, right? And so we do that every week. If you're not able to be on it live every Monday, it's recorded, available to you all week long, because we know what schedules are like for realtors, okay? We do on this same exact thing. I did a thing on Snapchat teaching that. We have our business plan here. And then we have on this members only dashboard, when you're in virtual coaching, we have your trackers you're going to use, your weekly accountability tracker, your daily activity log, the things that we use to keep you on board. We have all of your templates and your scripts and the things that you need to create money. And we have video campaigns of me specifically explaining what you need to do, how to use this template. All of this stuff is all on this dashboard, and it's $59 a month or $599 for the year. It's ridiculous. It's less than most of you right now are paying for, coffee, okay? So before I get into other stuff, if any of you are interested in that, okay, all you have to do, I put it over here in your offers. I believe it's there, right, Rachel? Give me a thumbs up. If you click on that, there's a series of things that it's going to show you. The first thing it shows you is virtual coaching. And I'm telling you right now, and if you're in real estate and you're watching this right now, every single one of you need to be in, whether it's virtual coaching or one-on-one coaching, all of you need to be in, because it's sick value, okay? A smaller percentage you belong in one-on-one coaching. That's what's going to give you the accountability, make you create the systems and structures, make you grow the way you need to grow. But every one of you belong in virtual, okay? Stop buying coffee at Dunkin' Donuts every day. Get into virtual coaching, get all your templates, scripts, campaigns, access to me, weekly coaching calls that I do that keep you updated, keep you on track. It's a sick value, okay? So go click on that in your offers, sign up for virtual, either monthly or yearly. You'll immediately get an email that will give you everything you need to have access, gives you your password, gives you everything you absolutely need, okay? If you have questions, let me know. I'll answer them in Q&A, but I want to get back to some of the actual follow-up stuff. The other thing you're going to see on that page, guys, I should probably show it to you just so you guys know what it is that I am doing. Let me see if I can grab it here, guys. Other thing you're going to see there, just so you don't get confused, there it is. Let me pull you guys over there, is this. You've got the top thing, which is going to be the scripts to download. You've got your virtual coaching. Get in that right away. You'll have access tonight right away. If you're interested in one-on-one coaching, just click on this. Rachel will actually set up a consult with me. Right now, I'm personally doing the consults to see if it's right for you. After that, anything else you're interested in, if you want us to start doing seller lead creation for you, it's a $49 setup fee. One of our reps will be in touch tomorrow because they're not here anymore, and they'll start going over what it's going to cost you per zip code, that kind of stuff. I'll answer questions if you guys want when we do Q&A, but that's an option for you as well. Some of you, to get your business going or really to grow, need to have leads coming in on a regular basis. We can do that. And then we also have, for those of you that are already getting leads, even if you're not using our program, if you're interested, we also have what's called a lead converter upgrade. 89 bucks a month. We actually create a page for you where you can put in addresses, put in emails, and take partial leads, like, just an address, just an email, and 65 to 75% of the time it will convert it into a lead with cell phones, names, all of that kind of stuff. Really, really, really cool stuff, okay? Here's what I really want you to think about when you're looking at this stuff. We're talking about conversion. You talk about the power of virtual coaching, listening to me on a regular basis, being able to ask questions, doing that stuff. What I want you to ask yourself is, what's the difference in your business going from 1% to 2% conversion? What's the difference going from 2% to 3%? What's the difference going 3% to 4%? And on and on. Our average person that we create seller leads for in the marketing department that spends $5 or more per day on Facebook for their ads that we create the landing pages, we just send them the leads. The average person gets about 40 to 50 leads, seller leads per month. So I want you to think about that. If you were getting 50 per month for 12 months, that's 600 leads a year. If you were converting at 2%, that's 12 transactions. If you only went up 1%, that now becomes 18 transactions. If your average price point is $5,000 of commission, you just made another $30,000 simply by learning how to convert at 1% higher, okay? That's the power that virtual coaching has for you, and having access to the tools and access to me. That's the power even more in one-on-one, and that's the power of having a company create seller leads for you on a regular basis, is that you now set yourself up to succeed, okay? So I'll leave that over there with the offers. I'm gonna start covering some more stuff about lead conversion. You guys can stay as late as you want or jump off. I'm gonna get as detailed as you possibly want, and then we'll go from there. If you sign up for the year, does it end August 31st, 2017 or August 9th? It's a year from today. It's exactly 1 year, okay? And the advantage of paying for the year up front is that it's like the equivalent of 1.5 to 2 months for free, okay? But like I said, guys, it's sick value. I had somebody email me the other day and they said, I feel like I'm ripping you off, okay? Jared, I had one closing and one almost done thanks to virtual coaching after only being licensed for 6 weeks. What's the best way to leverage these first few wins? Honestly, like Facebook ads, Facebook promotions are the best way. You know, so when you look at it, if you have a listing or you have something like that, you want to promote that. You want to get that up on Facebook on your business page and then promote it to the overall area and try to pick up buyers. It's funny you say that. So I've been toying around with this. I think in a couple weeks, we're going to do a training just on Facebook promotions to show people how to do those. So it'll help you a lot with that. But send me an email. If you're in our program, send us an email. Send me more details of what you're talking about, and I'll send you step-by-step what you need to do, okay? What was number 4 and number 6 on your 7 things you mentioned at the beginning? Let's do it. Number 1 was speed matters. Number 2 was don't underestimate the immediate second call. And guys, I'll actually, Rachel, we need to put this up on where the replay is going to go. We'll actually put the slides, okay? Number 3 was always say the right thing. Number 4, which you asked about, was touch your leads in as many ways as humanly possible without being weird. Number 5 was use video whenever possible. BombBomb, go to bombbomb.com. Number 6 was be consistent, which includes having a system set up. That was that system I kind of showed you in the back end of Wise Agent or whatever you're using. Number 7 was always have a strong call to action, okay? A strong call to action is crucial when you're trying to convert leads, whether you're email, texting, calling, whatever it happens to be. Strong calls to action. You can't just say, I'm just getting back to you, call me. You got to have a call to action. What's the reason, okay? Let me see here. In scripts, why do you not identify yourself as a realtor or your company? We get to that point. Right now, I'm trying to create a connection as a person, okay? I believe in one of the scripts I just say, I'm so-and-so from so-and-so realty. I think it was a seller script. Right now, I'm trying to create a connection. I'm not trying to create barriers. And unfortunately, in their mind at this point, they have very negative connotations of realtors. They're being called by a ton of realtors. I'm just trying to create a connection at this point. What's a good, strong call to action for our Facebook business pages? It depends on what you are trying to get. So if you're putting up a listing that you just got, and you're trying to generate other sellers off of it, then a great call to action is going to be check out your neighbor's property that just came up. This may have changed the value of your property. Would you like to know how? That's a great call to action. If it's a buyer's promotion that you're putting out there, a great call to action is to look up in your area what the home buyer assistance programs are. So up to 10,000, up to 7,000, up to, and create some kind of a promotion on your Facebook page that says, did you know, if you know anyone or you are looking to buy, did you know you may be able to get up to $10,000 towards the purchase of your home? Contact me now to see if you qualify. Comment below, email me at, or call or text me at. I look forward to hearing from you. Watch what happens when you do that, okay? And then you connect with a lender in your area that has the ability to do that program. And whenever the leads start flowing in, you start passing them to that lender. You see if they qualify. But whether they qualify or not, if they make too much money and they don't qualify, doesn't matter. You're now talking to a potential buyer. And that's all you're trying to do. And by the way, when you're doing Facebook promotions and stuff, don't ever put in your address or your price, because those are factors that allow people to eliminate themselves. So even when you're doing an open house post, you're doing a new listing post, you're doing a coming soon post, make it as attractive as possible, no price, no location, because then people will start messaging you. How much is it? Where is it? Now you're talking to a buyer, okay? You see how that works? Are the programs month to month or a 1-year contract? Virtual coaching is month to month. One-on-one coaching is 12 months. The marketing program where we create seller leads for you, that option in there is month to month. If you want to pay for 6 or 12 months up front, we give you months for free, but it's month to month. What are some key differences between one-on-one coaching and virtual training? Does one-on-one coaching provide more help with installing the systems, processes, Facebook, etc.? Night and day. One-on-one is when you have specifically a person assigned just to you and your business is their sole focus, and you're meeting with them. You have video calls with them, and you set up a blueprint with them. They set up a blueprint and hold you accountable to what strategy is going to need to be followed to get there, including the systems and everything. Virtual training gives you amazing value. You watch the videos, you can send me emails, you've got the template, scripts, campaigns, but I'm not following you going, come on, like, did you do it? Have this done by Thursday. So different thing. Virtual is really a gateway drug to get people into one-on-one. If I'm just being honest, it's amazing value where you'll create transactions as a result. And then we say, great, you made some money, get into one-on-one, because that's where our people do the best, okay? We have a lady in our one-on-one who told me recently, for 8 straight years, she never crossed 100,000 in commissions. She joined our one-on-one, and 7 months into the year, she had crossed over $250,000. It's just, we know what works. It's ingredients, okay? I was looking for signing up for the virtual coaching. I see a place for promo code. No, there's no promo code. That's just what's on all of the, what do you call it, shopping carts. They just put promo codes there. But no, it's $59 a month or $5.99 for the year. You're the man, Jared. Thanks. Appreciate that, guys. Let me see here, guys. I want to get to your questions. Guys, what about partial leads? Let's talk about that for a second. Let's face it, a lot of leads come in and they're partial. What do you do with a seller partial lead? What if they only have an address? Okay. There's the easy answer, which is if you're using our program, get the upgrade, because we have an upgrade where when somebody only puts their address in, 65 to 75% of the time, it will still pull their name, email, cell phones, everything, even when they only put their address, which gives you a huge advantage. Even if you're not in our program, if you go to that same thing that's being offered over in the offers, all the way down the end of the page, there's a thing for $89 a month where we'll set you up with a page where you can start putting your addresses in and having them converted to full up. That's the easiest way to convert them, is getting all the info. But if you don't have that, yes, it's more difficult. But what you can do is if you only have an address, you can look them up in town hall, start looking up their names, see if you can find them on social. Now you have the ability to message them personally. You can do stuff like that. You can get creative. You only have an address. Take a letter, exactly what you would have responded in an email if you had it, where it says something like, I got your request for a value. I just need one more really quick thing. Can you call me at whatever? You can put that in a letter, put it in a wedding envelope, and send it to them or drop it off to them, because everybody opens up wedding invitation envelopes. You can send it in first-class mail, so it's a little bit more creative. There's a lot of ways to separate yourself from the overall market, but that's what we teach people to do, is stuff like that, okay? Let me look here, guys. We got a lot of questions coming in. What are your thoughts on postcards? Some experts love them, some experts hate them. Direct targeted postcards work well. I can't stand just listed, just sold postcards that have no call to action. Again, call me at is not a call to action, okay? But sending out a thing, just listed, this may have changed the value of your property. The first 10 people that go to this link by Friday and fill out to get a valuation on their home, I will have their house cleaned. That's a call to action, okay? That's get in there quick. That has a deadline. That's scarcity, first 10. That is the kind of stuff you need to be doing, okay? Let me see here, guys. What requirements for seller lead generation program? So, guys, it's a $49 setup. Again, it's on that offers page, I think 3 down. $49 setup. And then here's exactly how it works. And a lot of you on here are already marketing clients of ours. You pay us $99 for the first zip code you want us to market to, $189 for 2 zip codes, and then we adjust from there if you want a lot more. And then you have to put in whatever your budget is for Facebook, minimum $5, okay? I've got cleaning people behind me. So it'd be $99 or $180 plus the $5 a day, $7 a day, $10 a day, $30 a day, depending if you have a team or whatever you decide to market on Facebook. But we do everything. We create the generic business page. We create the ads. We create the landing pages. We just send the leads right over to you. We do everything. All you do is sit back and have the leads come to you and now start following what I'm telling you to convert, okay? Again, you sign up for the $49 setup fee to have us create seller leads. Tomorrow, one of our reps will reach out to you. They'll get on the phone with you. What zip codes do you want? How much do you want to budget? They'll go through everything with you, okay? Great question. How do you transition the dialogue when you find them on one of the social networks and contact them there? Love it. Okay, guys, the reason why I mentioned social is because you don't want to be fishing in the same pond everybody else is, okay? So if you're throwing your hook in the same place in the water everybody else is, then you have less of a chance of catching the fish. So you want to find other ways to contact them that everybody else is not, and social is one of those. What's really cool, if you can find them on Facebook or something like that, you can click on their profile, see if they have mutual friends. That's the easiest way to get in with someone. Hey, I noticed that you were interested in the value of your home, or you responded to one of my Facebook ads, you liked it or something. Did you have some kind of interest, blah, blah, blah. By the way, I see we have mutual friends. Our kids go to the same school. Or how do you know Nancy? Or you always end with that. Because when they know that you have mutual friends, now they're not going to ignore you because they don't want to run into you one day and have an awkward moment. So you need to look for that, okay? If you don't have mutual friends, when you send that message off, you're going to have the option when you send it, Facebook will pop up and give you the option of spending $1 to guarantee delivery to their inbox to make sure it doesn't go to archive messages or ones that have to be accepted or whatever it happens to be, okay? So the conversation's not that different, guys. Now you can pull in a personal element, though. You might even look up and see what they're into. I see you love the Broncos. Me too. Whatever. Like, whatever's going to be there for you, okay? Guys, your last chance to ask questions. Some little things that you can do, little tips. When someone's calling you, a potential buyer, and they call you back, a great thing to do when they call you back is to ask, did someone tell you to contact me? And then you'll be like, no, you called me earlier. I'm just calling you back. Oh, okay. But you just planted the seed that people recommend people call you. You just became the expert, okay? There's little lines like that that just separate you. When you're texting people, don't text, hi, I saw that, and start texting a whole thing. Just text something like, is this so-and-so? Or, something like that, because they're going to be like, yeah, who's this? Now they can't ignore you because you know that they're there, and they know that you know that they're there. And so now they're going to start corresponding, okay? They can't ignore you. Powerful stuff. Is your lead generation program a good complement to purchasing Zillow leads, or do your customers use your system only? No, you can do both. We've recommended a lot of people off of Zillow lately, not because I'm anti-Zillow, but because since they've went to an impressions-based model, their ROI has gone way down. Okay, so our ROI on our leads are so much higher. We used to have clients doing both and getting a great return on both. It's just since they went to an impressions-based model, like eyeballs on it, they're not seeing the same ROI. But yeah, we have a much higher ROI because we're guaranteeing that people are engaging on a post, going and filling out information, and you're getting information from people who filled out a form off of a do you want to, looking to sell ad. Okay, very powerful. Can you talk a little bit about the converted partial leads? Eric, I need to know what you mean by that. Do you mean like our program? Like we have an upgrade option, it's $89 a month, where whenever someone only puts in a partial lead, just an address, 65 to 75% of the time we're able to pull, and that additional information is sent to you, their email, their cell phones, their names, what they owe on the property, all that stuff. And even if you don't use our program, you're getting leads from somewhere else for $89 a month. We can actually set up a page where you just go in and put their address in, and 65 to 75% of the time, you're gonna get the full information. You can take old leads and put it in there. You can take whatever you want. They'll even set up a buyer page for you where you can put in emails and have 65 to 75% of the time full information given to you. It's just about operating on a different platform, guys, like having an advantage over your competition because you're having so much more information than they are. One of our coaches always says, when it regards to seller leads, the harder they are to find, the harder they are to contact, the easier they are to list, because no one else is getting all their information either. And then you do, and you have a huge advantage, okay? Jared, would you please repeat the call to action on a just listed, just sold postcard? I'm trying to remember what I said because there's so many of them. But I think I said something like, just sold, I just sold your neighbor's property over at blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure if you're aware, but this may have changed the value of your property. If you'd like to know how your value has changed, have a link. You can use the ones that we give you with the seller lead generation. You have a link they go to. They put in their address so that you can give them their value of their home. The first 10 people that go there by Friday, whether you list your home with me or not, I will have your house cleaned, or I will send you a $5 gift card to Starbucks, or you've got to decide whatever that call to action is for you. Does the one-on-one coaching help with branding, microsites, landing pages, creating a domain, marketing on social media? Absolutely. Our one-on-one is set up to deal with whatever you need. We have the goal of working with people for the next 10 years to build an empire. Like, that's really what we do. So for some people, when they're brand new, we're focusing on something different than for somebody who's got a 12-person team and is trying to grow that or create better systems. The one thing we do with every single person we do, the first thing we do is get your systems and processes and infrastructure set up so that you're actually in a place to succeed, okay? Because most real estate people are working against each other, against themselves. Like I said earlier, we do a really great job of showing people how to pass real estate exams, not how to run businesses, okay? And that's really what we help do. It's called job security. Create urgency, I love it. Thanks, Jared, great information. How should I talk to them without being creepy? Don't be creepy. I don't care about being creepy. I don't care about being salesy. I'm not. I'm trying to help you. I really believe all of you belong in either virtual or one-on-one coaching, because I've seen people over and over make money hands over fist by giving little investments. So I have no problem with it. Don't be creepy. You are what you are. ROI, Stephanie, means return on investment. Return on investment, okay? If I sign up for a year of virtual, is it different than the YouTube channel videos? Absolutely, Chip. So we get asked this question all the time because I put out so much value on YouTube, and you should all be subscribed on YouTube, youtube.com/Jared James Today. If you really watch our YouTube videos, they're principles, right? So I did one recently on systems, like the 4 rules of systems. They're principles, okay? Now go watch our last virtual coaching call. Step-by-step screen sharing. Here's exactly what you do. Here's how you set it up. Click this, do that. Completely different thing. So YouTube is extremely valuable. We help people, we motivate people, we talk about principles, we get them. But again, it is a gateway that gets people into the real meat of our program, okay? Yes, if you sign up for virtual and then you end up doing one-on-one, we do refund your virtual. Because as a one-on-one student, you have access to virtual, okay? So yes. Can you talk a little bit more about texting leads and when you should move to text if you aren't getting callbacks? You should move to text the moment you have an option to have text. If you have a cell phone, the open rate on text messages is over 40%, whereas the open rate on emails is about 13%. So you should move to text the moment you can, okay? Greatest way to get responses is to ask questions, whether it's buyers or sellers. People will ignore a generic response. Now we're really getting into the meat of this, guys. To the 100 and whatever of you that stayed around to the end, good for you. People will ignore generic responses. Hey, give me a call back when you get a chance. Hey, I saw you had this. Let me know. But they will not ignore, for the most part, specific questions. What was it about this property that made you contact me? Was it the payment options or the location? Now they have to answer. Hey, I know your area well. You asked for a evaluation of your home. I know your area really well. Are you one of the homes over there that's a ranch, a split level? Are you one of the homes that has carpet or hardwood? Ask specific questions and watch what happens. You will get answers, okay? I hope that helps you. Is there any point in sending Facebook message without paying? It just gets hidden. It doesn't always get hidden if you have mutual friends, okay? So not always, no. If you don't pay for the Facebook message, doesn't just hit in the inbox. Again, that's an algorithm thing. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. If you have mutual friends, it usually won't. Do you always get numbers on your Facebook ad? I think you're talking about ours. Again, with the upgrade, 65 to 75% of the time, we get cell phones, okay? Not always, 65 to 75%, okay? Just joined, can't wait. I'm in your program. It's the best. Thank you. Awesome. I don't want to read a bunch of love you ones from you guys. I really appreciate it, but I want to give people real value right now. Should your landing page require both phone numbers and email? It depends if it's a buyer or a seller landing page. Seller landing page, you just want address on the first step, and then it goes, they hit submit, it goes to a second step, and it'll say, in order to get you more accurate, I need more information, and now you ask for additional information. About 20 to 25% will fill out that secondary page with more information. The rest of them will only fill out the first page with an address, and that's what's called a partial lead to a full lead. That's why the lead converter upgrade is so powerful, because even when they only are a partial lead, you can upgrade them and get more information from them, even if they didn't put it in. How can we get ideas on what to use as calls for actions? My brain just doesn't think of all that good stuff. Leverage our Facebook group, guys. You all should be in our Jared James Coaching Facebook group. Put it out there to the community. Send me an email. Snapchat me. Like, I help people all day, every day, guys. It's what I do. At what point in calling online leads do you leave a voicemail, if at all? First time. Not first time, because you're going to hang up and do an immediate second call. But after that immediate second call, leave a voicemail. That was in the script, by the way, of what exactly to leave as a voicemail. So just go back, download that script. How do you develop content for your video messages? Are you asking me for all the videos I put out to people, or are you asking for you? Your content's going to be determined by what matters to your audience, okay? So you always need to think about what is the carrot for them. To a rabbit, it's a carrot. To a seller or somebody like that, it's getting their value. To a buyer, it's that amazing thing. I can't believe you called me about this property because there's something amazing I have to tell you about. It's whatever matters to them. John, your virtual coaching program is amazing, all capital. Awesome. Guys, I meant what I said. You should all, I'm not getting rich off of virtual coaching. Can I just be very clear right now? You just all belong in it. Guys, can I just get very real for a second here? So I was raised by a single mom in this industry where I saw people who needed help, including my mother, that couldn't afford to have it. And so while I 100% believe in one-on-one coaching, in our marketing program that creates leads for people, I also believe that there's people who need help who can't at this moment in time afford to do that. I'm not talking about people who are eating out all the time and they say they can't afford it. I'm talking about legitimately starting out, can't afford, that kind of a thing. So we created our virtual program as a gateway drug to give people the help that they needed so that they can eventually get into the higher level programs of one-on-one and the marketing programs and that kind of stuff, okay? What is the suggested length and time for video messages? About 20 seconds or less. And be human. I don't care if you're using BombBomb and you get a new lead in and you're at your kid's baseball game. Hey, Tom, I just got your request for, whatever you want to see that property. As you can see, I'm just going into my kid's ball game right now. Just want to let you know I'm a real person. I got it. I'll be getting back to you later. Boom. You just became a person. Watch how your conversion ratios go through the roof, okay? Why do you think I have the context I have with my following? When every single person that sends me snaps, I'm going to sit here for 2 hours when this is over. Watch my snap later. I'll be leaving here after midnight. And I'm going to sit here for 2 hours and respond to every single one of you. It matters, okay? Thank you. Amen. Thank you for creating the gateway to one-on-one coaching. No problem. It's truly a valuable research. You guys are always cutting edge. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How long and how many conversations is one-on-one a month? It depends on the program you go with. We have a gold level program, which is 2 calls a month. We have a platinum, which is 4 calls per month. Starts at $499 a month and goes up from there. If you're interested, just go to our site, or actually if you go to over on the offers here, one of the options is one-on-one. Set up for a consult. That's free. Let's see if it's a good option for you. Okay. Guys, with that being said, are there any more questions? Okay, because I'm going to go. Again, go to connectwithjared.com. Guys, I do different things on all the platforms. I do different things on Snapchat. I put content all day. YouTube, Instagram, I do different things. Twitter, I do different things. Facebook, the fan page, and the regular, I do different things. Connect on all those places. Do me a favor, guys. Send me a message tonight. Take a pic of this, whatever it is. Let me know what you thought. I also need to know from you guys, I am thinking of in a couple of weeks doing a free training on boosted posts on Facebook showing exactly how to do them, what calls to action to do, and that kind of stuff. Would that be helpful to you or not? If not, I don't want to waste anybody's time. If it is, follow me on those places. Send me a message. Let me know if you want that or not. How do I get those 7 items you began with? When we send out the replay, I'm going to have the slides in that same place. You can download them, okay? You were fantastic. I always enjoy. Glad you enjoyed. Awesome. Thank you. This was so awesome. Yes, yes, yes. Guys, seriously, you guys rock. I mean, it's 10:30 at night for me here. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys are the reason why I get to do what I love for a living. I honestly never overlook that. I think it's the coolest thing in the freaking world, and that's why I spend so much time getting back to everybody. You guys are, Michael Phelps won. Bam, my night was just made. Okay, that's fantastic. This is gonna be on the replay now, and people are gonna be like, when was this recorded? Sweet, guys. I hope I get a lot of you guys. Last chance. The offers is there. I'm about to close it down. Get into our virtual. Send me a message. Let me know you're in there. Get in our one-on-one. Start having us create those seller leads for you. If you're already getting them, get the upgrade. If you're getting leads through someone else, have us create that lead converter upgrade for you. These things are here to help you, okay? So with that being said, guys, thank you. I'll see some of you on Snapchat when I'm messaging you. I hope this was worthwhile for you. When the replay comes out, share it with as many of the people that you know that you think will benefit from it. That's why we do it. You guys rock. I will talk to you soon. Have a great one.